Well, good morning, gang. It is Tuesday morning. I think it's August the 29th. And here in Coos Bay, Oregon at Bay Point Landing. And enjoying a quick vacation. Not very long, but just a quick one. Had a good time in Oklahoma City and with the men there and preached there on that Sunday, I guess a couple days ago. Then flew up to Portland and drove down the 101 to here. Had some seafood, as you guys saw. I had a good time. Um, I'm right now here. Here's the beach, and there's the water, and getting up, just waking up. I wanted to share something with you guys, specifically parents, and something that I've been battling and going through over the past couple years. And I think I've come to a place of peace and understanding finally after 20 years of parenting. Some of you guys may have 40 years of parenting, so I'm sure I'm going to learn from you guys, and this may be redundant, but to those of us who are having who are still thinking and struggling with this moment, I'm going to kind of share something that God told me. And these are my own thoughts. It's not biblical, just my own thoughts. But it's a perspective of our children from a Christian parent and from Christian parenting. And I've kind of learned this from having plants over the past few months and watching them grow and watching them die, watching them not do well in certain seasons. So I'll try to make this kind of quick. But anyway, I have plants in my garden that need certain kind of care. Some do well without a lot of water. Some don't do well without water. Some need water every single day. Some need water every other day. Some need water every week, every 2 weeks, every twice a month. And they're all different. And you've got to read the instruction manual and do some research on how to get the best out of these plants as far as bloom, as far as root structure, as far as being drought resistant, not drought resistant, stuff like that. And I really do think the same thing is true as parenting. Not every child is the same. Not every parenting style is the same. And you really can't use your this is what I'm learning. I can't use my relatives or my friends' parenting style on my child all the time. I've got to pray and ask God how to use the best parenting style to number one, be their parent. Number two, lead them into righteousness. Number three, or I should say, lead them to Jesus. And then number three, which is really, really important to me, to not break relationship with them, to not make me an issue when they want to come to someone and talk and they need to share or they want to get advice. I don't want to be the parent that my parents avoid or that my children avoid me, my adult kids avoid me. And I would say this is kind of for anyone who's got kids 12 and up, because we have to really. Someone's walking their dog, and I saw the reflection. I'm like, what is this? But we have to really discern and pray and ask God, Lord, how do I parent this particular child or these children? Because each child will respond differently to all kinds of stimuli. And then as the kid gets older, 12, 13, 14, ask them, hey, how can I be a better parent? Not that you are going to do everything they say, but ask them what works best with them. And one of the main things that I got caught up with doing that is so wrong, the Bible talks about comparing anything, comparing your car to someone else's car, comparing your salad to someone else's salad, comparing your spouse to someone else's spouse. You don't do that. You never do that. And especially with kids. Just like with flowers, you have to wait for a season for them to bloom in their own season. Until then, you take care of them. You give them soil. You give them fertilizer. You give them sunlight. You give them shade. You give them a certain amount of water. You may have to replant them somewhere else. And until they bloom, you just got to be there with them. You can't make plants bloom. You just can't. It's not going to happen. You can put them in the environment to bloom, but you can't make plants bloom. You can't make your kids bloom. You can talk all you want. You can get frustrated. You can cuss them out, which I haven't, but some of you haven't. Hey, it is what it is. But you can't make your kids bloom. You've got to stand with them, stand by them. Everything your kids do, especially your adult kids, we may not condone them, but we don't condemn them. We will not condemn the child. We may say, listen, that isn't a bad decision, or that is a bad decision, or isn't the best decision, but we never condemn our kids. And I've made the mistake over and over again of going, wow, I wish this was going on with my kids, or this is going on with my kids. And just like with plants, they bloom differently. They really do. And right now, I'm at a place in my parenting of a 20-year-old and a 19-year-old where I'm really learning to shut up and let God parent them sometimes, and let me just be the person they come to just to conversate, just to talk, just to say, hey, Dad, how you doing? Ask them about their day. Now, if they're doing something dangerous or stupid, yeah, I'll say, hey, you know what? I know you're an adult, but I don't think about that. Or I'll say, well, you're an adult and everything in life has consequences, good and bad. And then I'll let them make the decision because, I'm in Oregon. I have one child in Arkansas and one child in Illinois. They can do what they want to do right now, and I'll never know. And I got to trust God. And so that has really helped me by just shutting up. And again, now some parents may be in your adult kid's face. That doesn't work for every child. It doesn't. You will push them away. And then some kids, they may need that. So I don't know. You've got to pray and ask God, what's the best thing for you and your child, to where you don't lose them to the world or to hell. Because that's important to me. And every parent loves their child. And it may be frustrating. It may be painful to watch them go through bad situations, bad times. But as parents, especially parents of adult children, we're not called to control. We're called to sometimes correct in a certain way, but more importantly, to love them through the process. And and for me to say that right now, I know that God is a God, because that wasn't me a year ago. That wasn't me 2 years ago, definitely. I am an adult parent, work in progress. So anyway, I hope this helps someone out there, because parenting in this day and age is hard. And especially if you have kids who are in high school, sit down one-on-one every now and then, often, and talk to them. Sit down two and if you have 2 and 3 and 4, ask them in a group, hey, how can I be a better parent? What don't you like that? And then explain to them. And then I'm learning too with these kids today, especially kids in high school and these young adults, you have to let them talk. You have to let them process things out loud and in their heads. And this is going to sound really, really bad, but sometimes even with kids in high school, even junior high school, you can't just tell them no, because they're going to wonder why. Sit them down and say, hey, listen, here is why I think you shouldn't do this. Now, if they're in your home, if they're high school, junior high, yeah, they got to obey. But what you want to nurture is that change of heart and that change of mind, not just obey because if I don't, I'll get kicked out. Sit down with your children, talk to them, ask them questions, allow them to say to you things in respect that we would never say to our parents. But in this day and age, for whatever reason, they need that. And I promise you, it'll keep them close to you. And you won't be their friend, but as you get older, you'll become friendly with them, and they'll trust you and they'll respond better. That's been hard for me. It really has. So anyway, that's it, guys. Go have a great day. Love y'all. I'm almost out of town. Almost out of time. share this. Love you. See you. Bye-bye.